Welcome, race fans, to the Texas Motor Speedway in Fort Worth, Texas for the EPRL Samsung Cup Series Season 1 race number 2, bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage here of this Samsung Mobile 500. So we are here for a 34-lap race at the Texas Motor Speedway, and on the pole is the 96 of Frankie Peterson. Alongside him in second will be Connor Breton. Starting third is going to be Seth Cole. Fourth is going to be Andrew Schwartz. And rounding out your top five inside of the third row is going to be Eddie Jones, the Daytona 500 winner, trying to win the first two races of the Samsung Cup Series, which would be a very impressive thing to see. And who knows, it might never be seen again. But let's see if Eddie Jones can pull it off as he starts from the 5th position. Let's get the cars rolling off. Robert Piet and Julie Stewart deep in the field. They are not on the last row, though. Once again, there's a bit of a glitch there, but oh well. As the field works their way off of the final corner, we're going to show you a few different things here for the second race of the season. There's only about a change or two, but the green flag is out. Frankie Peterson gets us going at Texas. As they come off of the second corner for the first time, look at Eddie Jones already into the 3rd position. But Seth Cole is going to look for the lead. He was in contention to win the Daytona 500, but he wants to win the second race of the season. As he comes through the quad oval, he's going to come up short of leading the first lap as Frankie Peterson edges him out at the line. And now Connor Breton is going to stick his nose in the picture, making it 3 wide for the first position with Sean Galligan right behind him. Oh boy, they're going to try 4 wide. Way up the racetrack, Frankie Peterson and Seth Cole, they keep it off the wall, and at the line, that was too close to call, but I think Seth Cole got it, and he did. Seth Cole just barely edges out Frankie Peterson to lead the lap, and now Eddie Jones is going to make some noise. He comes to the bottom of the racetrack and will take the lead away. Speed's very close to what they were running in the Daytona 500. We were about 205 to 206 at tops at Daytona, and here at Texas, there's no difference there. About 206, 207 miles an hour, maxing out going into turn 1. Oh, Frankie Peterson just got a piece of the wall coming out of the corner. Alright, well, believe it or not, this is actually calming down a bit. So, let's show you the thing that we were talking about before the race. Let's see if he is racing a different paint scheme. Oh, I guess he isn't, but Evan McLean, since he painted his own cars, basically has a few different paint schemes that he's going to be running, so we just wanted to clarify that before the season gets too far in depth, that since he painted his own cars, he is able to have as many paint schemes as he wants. That goes for anybody, so if you paint your own car, you can have as many paint schemes as you want. But at the line, Eddie Jones is going to lead the 5th lap of this race, and I believe he's led about 3 of these first few, so good start there for Eddie. As Galligan's going to come to the bottom. There's Kurt Keselowski, the 4th place finisher. Yeah, the 4th place finisher in the Daytona 500. Really felt like he had a shot at winning that race, and he did, just wasn't quite able to come through with the clutch and win it. Uh-oh. Oh boy, Cole Fralick, that was close, coming out of the corner, and now Courtney Simpson gets turned around and back up in front of traffic. A big crash in turn number 3. And it looks like it might just be Courtney Simpson. And now there's more trouble coming out of the corner, and that's Dylan Young and Rob Bush. But I think Courtney Simpson was the only driver mainly involved in the turn 4 incident. Galligan wins the race back to the start-finish line. But Courtney Simpson and Dylan Young have gotten the worst ends of the first crash, along with Rob Bush and John Dillon. Let's go back and see what happened. Third place at Daytona in the wall at Texas. Here's Courtney Simpson. They're 4 wide on the backstretch, and Joseph Clark just gets into the quarter panel of Courtney, puts her in the wall. She comes back up into Dylan Young and John Dillon and Rob Bush. Ironically, those are all the drivers that wrecked. Obviously, they got damage here, but actually they were the drivers involved in the turn 4 incident. So it kind of got triggered by Courtney Simpson's getting turned around. And, oh, he gets into the outside wall pretty hard there. And then Rob Bush is going to come in and spin the 65 Skype Chevrolet around. He is sideways on the front straightaway, but ended up getting it back going. Not so lucky, though, for Courtney Simpson. She is in the pit lane, and it does not look like she is going to return to the racetrack. So, an unfortunate break for those drivers. But, looks like we only got one car out of the race after that one. So, we're going to get you back to the action as Sean Galligan is your leader. We're just about half a lap away from getting you the green flag on lap number 12 out of 34. So, we're going to get you the top 10 for this restart. Sean Galligan is out front. Second is Eddie Jones. Third is going to be Connor Breton. Fourth is Seth Colin. Rounding out your top 5 in the 19 is going to be Christian James. Sixth is going to be Evan McLean. Seventh, Kurt Keselowski. Eighth, Andrew Schwartz. Ninth is Frankie Peterson. And 10th will be Brandon Bain. So Sean Galligan. Let's see. I can't find his name. Oh, there he is. He finished 9th in the Daytona 500, so looking to back it up with yet another top 10. Green flag back in the air with a great restart. Sean Galligan drives away by about 3 car lengths in turn 1. Good restart by everybody. Keeping it pretty calm for the moment. Still single file all the way through, but that's going to change when they come out of turn 4, because here it is for second, Connor Breton. Going underneath Eddie Jones, second place on the line. Eddie Jones is going to keep it this lap, but I don't think he's going to be so fortunate in turn 1. Breton's going to have the preferred line, and he's going to have the horsepower. Breton to second. And actually, he might just go for the lead as Galligan slips. Slips some, but not enough to the point where Breton could get around him. And now we might just have a 3-0 battle for second, because here comes Christian James in the 19. Almost got into Connor Breton. Almost hooked the quarter panel with a 70. And that could really be a big crash. Seems like when you crash at Texas, it's almost always a really big stack up. So, definitely something you should avoid. And now, once again, Eddie Jones, very competitive early in the going. He is out front with 20 to go. Whoa! They got a little bit closer to that safer barrier than they usually do. And now they're trying 4 wide for second. Kurt Keselowski and Christian James. Look out! James is going to get turned and Kurt Keselowski is in it. They're wrecking behind, but up front, Connor Breton is going underneath Eddie Jones. And at the line, oh my goodness, Eddie Jones barely gets him by a bumper. Oh my goodness, James in the Quick Trip Chevy is torn to pieces. Kurt Keselowski and Joseph Clark have damage, along with Anthony Emery, Jordan Ippolito, Garrett Jones, Sean Henley wrecks on the front straightaway. So there must have been a separate incident, because I didn't see Garrett Jones or Anthony Emery in the backstretch stack up, and Dylan Young. We were just talking about him in the last crash. He got turned around, and unfortunately, once again, he is wrecked. So let's go back and see what happened to bring out the second caution here at Texas. Well, they tried 4 wide in turn 2, and apparently they didn't learn that after the first wreck that would not work. And 2 of the better drivers in the Daytona 500, especially Kurt Keselowski, finishing 4th. Unfortunately, 2 Minnesotans hard into the inside wall at Texas. And, oh, that's where Garrett Jones is going to get his damage. And Jordan Ippolito stacks in. That's where Joseph Clark also is going to get involved. We're going to have to get a different view of this. Well, here it is. We're actually going to show you this from this view, so you can also show you this one part of the car. You can't really see it from the reflection. There's the contact, though. It says, "I don't apologize for anything." That's Garrett Jones's quote for the year. Not gonna back down to anybody, and not going to say sorry for anything. So, Garrett Jones' aggressive driving style, unfortunately, has not had enough seat time in the series yet to show for it. He's wrecked in the first 2 races. Jordan Apolito, I believe, has also wrecked here in the first 2 races of the season. Dylan Young goes around him on the outside. Anthony Emery. But I'm curious as to what happened to Henley. Because he spun. Oh, there had to be a wreck up here. Oh, he was coming down and... Oh my goodness, Dylan Young. What was he after Sean Henley for? Hold on a minute. Let's back this up. Let's see if that may have been some retaliation. Well, I don't see any reason for... Oh, wait. We're watching the wrong driver. That might have a little something to do with that. Okay. Oh, wait. Was it Robert Piet that ran into him, or was it Dylan Young? I'm almost 100% certain it was Dylan Young. Yeah, there's Dylan. There is no reason for him to run over Sean Henley like that, but the 2 NNSCRA boys going at it here at Texas. Just plows him over. I mean, Henley was already done for the race, so I guess he can look at that and not get too angry about that because he was already done. But Dylan Young just destroys his own race car and gets back at somebody that really he didn't need to and was already going to be out of the race. So not quite understanding what Dylan Young was going for there. Maybe it was simply a mistake. Maybe it wasn't even retaliation at all. Maybe he just couldn't see or something because the hood may have been scrunched up in front of him and he wouldn't be able to see anything. But either way, a bit of a controversial wreck there on the front straightaway, but we're going to get you back to the green flag. We got Connor Breton out front this time. Actually, Eddie Jones is out front. Sorry about that, but we are going to get you back racing on lap 20 out of 34, 15 laps to go. So Eddie Jones is out front. Second is Connor Breton. Third is Seth Cole. Fourth is going to be Sean Galligan. And fifth is Evan McLean. Sixth is Frankie Peterson. Seventh, Brandon Bain. Eighth is Andrew Schwartz. Ninth is Cole Freilich. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be Brian LaFleur Jr. 35 drivers remain in the field, so got 7 out. Oh, wait, no, sorry, 6. Yeah, okay. Eddie Jones trying to sweep the first 2 races of the season. He won the Daytona 500. Now he's trying to win the Samsung Mobile 500 at Texas. As they come through the quad oval, the green flag comes in the air. 15 laps to go at Texas. I think it's going to be Eddie Jones, Connor Breton, and Sean Galligan. Those 3 seem to have the best cars. Man, what a start it would be if Eddie Jones could win the first 2 races of the season, and how ironic would it be if he would win the race and Evan McLean would come in second, because he is running third right now. He's close enough to second where that would definitely be something we could see, and we could see Eddie Jones and Evan McLean sweep the first 2 positions in the first 2 races. Now that'd be something you probably wouldn't see again in the Samsung Cup Series in the inaugural season of it. A few drivers have contracts to race with the same team, same sponsor for next season, and I believe, if this is all correct, I believe Eddie Jones is signed on for 3 seasons in the YouTube Chevrolet. So no official word on that, but I'm pretty sure that's the information that we're getting from the 62 team. It's way too early to be talking about next season plans, though, because we're only in the 2nd race of the season. And still a long ways to go, even in just the first season of the Samsung Cup Series. And look at Brandon Bain just powering around Brian LaFleur Jr. Now here comes Andrew Schwartz underneath Seth Cole. That's actually going to be for 3rd. Looks like he might just take it. Or will he? He might get denied. He goes up the track. Don't try 4 wide again. Brian LaFleur Jr. thinks better of it. Falls back in line. Good call there by Brian LaFleur Jr. Working his way up through the pack in a hurry. He restarted 10th, and right now he is running 7th. So he's working his way up to the through the field pretty conservatively. Pretty conservatively though. Doesn't want to go at it too hard and wreck himself, but he certainly doesn't want to come short to a win if he has an opportunity to win it. So Connor Breton remains the leader, as the front three pretty much stayed the same for the past few laps. 10 laps of racing to go. Let's go through the field. Not all the way through the field, but we'll kind of show you like the top 10 and just go through the field so you can see where your favorite driver is running. But Connor Breton is the leader. Second right now is Eddie Jones. We got a 3-wide battle for third with Seth Cole, Brandon Bain, and Evan McClain. Then in 6th position is Andrew Schwartz. 7th is Mitch Speed, but he's got Brian LaFleur Jr. after him. 9th is Frankie Peterson, and 10th is Devin Hargett. Haven't even said his name yet here in the Samsung Cup Series, but there it is. First time, Devin Hargett right now running in the 10th position. 11th is Evan Gattuso, but he has suddenly caught up to these guys, and he's racing very hard for position. Jacob Grant, Sean Galligan, Cole Freilich, Chris Kyle, your top 15. Luke Martin, Julie Stewart, Carter Keselowski, Kyle Smith, Zach Buchanan, Colin McNaught, all these drivers about mid-pack. And they had me a little bit nervous there, and actually Julie Stewart and Kyle Smith got into the outside wall, but we're able to be okay from it. Meanwhile, Eddie Jones has taken the lead back away from Connor Breton. But Brandon Bain is there, and Connor Breton with outside momentum. He's going to get passed on both sides. 3 wide for the first position. Now Seth Cole falls up to the bottom of the racetrack. But up front, stuff's getting very tight. And at the line, Eddie Jones is going to lead this lap. Just 6 laps to go. What an accomplishment it would be if Eddie Jones could win the first 2 races of the Samsung Cup Series, but there's still 6 laps to go, so it's way too early to be saying anything about this being in the bag, because it's by no means in the bag there for Eddie Jones, because he is under attack from Connor Breton and Brandon Bain on both sides, left and right. Eddie Jones defensive driving into turn 1, finally is clear, but he slips up, and Brandon Bain once again is going to swing at it on the back straightaway as Breton kisses the wall. Evan McClain might just try 3 wide if the 2 leaders get loose, and he will. Evan McClain to the bottom, Eddie Jones up to the high side, Brandon Bain to the lead. Doesn't look like we're going to catch lap traffic because we only have 4 laps to go, and the closest lapped car is about half a lap away, so it doesn't look like we're going to be catching any lapped cars. But meanwhile, Brandon Bain up front with Connor Breton right behind him in 2nd position. Whoa! Did you see that racing back here? That got very intense in a hurry. And Evan McClain to 3rd. Brandon Bain finished 16th in the Daytona 500, but with 3 laps to go, he is side by side with Connor Breton for the lead. Breton 28th in the 500, so 2 drivers that didn't necessarily get off to the greatest starts. Still pretty solid though, 16th and 28th. It could be a lot worse, so with 2 laps to go, those 2 are going at it for the win. Eddie Jones is not out of it yet. He still wants to win the first 2 races, but time is running out as now he is falling back, and he's going to have to battle Andrew Schwartz for 4th. Doesn't look like Eddie Jones is going to be among them to settle this for the win. But as they come out for the final corner to the white flag, final lap of the Samsung Mobile 500 at Texas. Connor Breton to the bottom in turn 1 underneath Brandon Bain. And now Evan McClain goes 3 wide as Breton gets loose. And Brandon Bain, the leader, gets into the outside wall. Breton, they're going to be 3 wide for the race lead going into the final turn. Evan McClain, 2nd in the 500, has the lead, but Brandon Bain's got the momentum on the outside. They're going to be side by side, but Brandon Bain wins it by half a car length. Brandon Bain edges out Evan McClain. Oh my goodness, what an incredible finish. Evan McClain had the lead in the final corner, but got loose and allowed Brandon Bain to go to the outside, get the momentum, and got him at the line. 2 races in a row, Evan McClain finishes second. Gotta be a heartbreaker, but there's always next time. And now I thought I saw a crash after the, oh, got confrontation back here. Stuff's getting real. Let's go back and see what happened there, and then we'll get to your finishing results. Alright, well, they were all trying to slow down, and Joshua Balkin apparently didn't want to slow down, and he just ran into the back of him, and just sent everybody around, so. Interesting. And I thought there was a crash up here, but apparently I was wrong, so. Let's get a replay of that finish, too. I gotta quick see that. Alright, well, we're going to show you the last, about quarter lap or so here. So Evan McLean drives it off into the corner as fast as he can. But right here, you can already tell that Brandon Bain's probably going to win this race because he got the outside momentum. And he's already pretty much dead even with the 08 car. Goes up the track just a bit. Connor Breeden on his quarter panel. I'm wondering if the draft may have came into play here. If Breeden was down low with Evan McLean, maybe Evan would be in victory lane right now. But instead, it is Brandon Bain winning at Texas Motor Speedway. So well done by the 21 team. Let's see your finishing results. Brandon Bain wins by about a half a car length. Otherwise, if you can't measure it in half a car length, you could say that that was won by 35/100ths of a second. So a great close finish. The second finish in the Samsung Cup Series that was less than a car length. So surprisingly, the only one that hasn't been was the biggest race of the season. That's the Daytona 500, which was won by Eddie Jones by actually about a car length and a half over Evan McLean. So third was Connor Breeden. Fourth was Eddie Jones. He will leave this race with the point lead without a doubt. Third was Connor Breeden. Fourth was Eddie Jones, and fifth was Andrew Schwartz. And sixth was Mitch Speed. Seventh, Frankie Peterson. Eighth, Brian LaFleur Jr. Ninth is Evan Gattuso, and 10th was Jacob Grant. I believe Grant ended up 9th in the 500. No, sorry, 8th in the Daytona 500. So still a great start to the season there by Jacob Grant. Very quiet start to the season, but a very good one. As you saw Brandon Bain to your right of your screen do his victory lap around this 1.5 mile D-shaped speedway. The Samsung Cup Series, Samsung Mobile 500. Actually, two pretty big races start off the season because this is kind of named after the Samsung Cup Series. So, the third place finish in the Daytona 500, Courtney Simpson. It's a good thing she finished so high in the 500. Otherwise, she would find herself mired back very far deep in the standings. But right now, she's it looks like she's probably going to be somewhere around mid-pack in the points after the second race of the year. So, once again, we still have a lot of time before this season wraps up. Still 18 races to go, so it's far from over here in the Samsung Cup Series, but early in the going, Eddie Jones and Evan McLean look to be the two dominant drivers, but Brandon Bain has risen up and wins at Texas. So congratulations to the 21 team as they are the winners of the Samsung Mobile 500. We will see you for the third race of the Samsung Cup Series. Thank you for watching, everybody.